Welcome back to the Awkward Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are doing our July reading wrap-up. Everybody, it is time yet again to talk about the books that I ended up reading in July. And I read so many books off of my TBR, like my physical TBR. I'm so proud of myself, especially since if you watched my August TBR, I don't have that many books on my physical TBR on that one. You know, that was a lot of times I said TBR. And there's like one little hair here. I didn't feel like doing my hair. I was playing pickleball, so it's a little sweaty. So a hat solves everything. Also, I just think I look really good in a hat. There is just one little hair. But do you guys, when you wear hats, do you tuck your ears in or do you leave them out, or is that not an issue for you because your head is a normal size? Because my head is very small and I have a very small forehead, so therefore if I put a hat fully on, it like covers my eyes. I am so mysterious. I am the night. I am the darkness. Let's talk about the books that I read this month. A lot of good ones to start off. It just kind of went up and down. It was a roller coaster of a month. I want to do the stats first. I have my iPad over here, so that's why I'm like looking across. Plus all my books are right there too. I read 10 books in July, which, wow, crazy. I didn't feel like I read that many. And the total pages that I read was 3,599. Oh, so close. That one is just so, almost there. My average rating for the month was 3.5. I've been really trying not to overthink my ratings in the sense of 0.25, 0.5. If it's in the 4-star range, it gets a 4, no matter if it's a high 4 or a low 4. When I definitely overthink and overanalyze, that's when a reading doesn't get fun. It's not fun anymore. And don't get me wrong, there was a time and place to be like giving things 4.25, but I just don't care enough. I just don't care, and I just want to read and not overanalyze what a 1/4-star rating is going to do. Just simplicity's sake, I've just been giving things whole numbers. I feel so free. And my format breakdown was I read 5 physical books, 2 audiobooks, and then 3 Kindle digital books, whether that was checked out from the library or bought via Kindle. I should mention the 2 audiobooks that I have, I primarily read them via audio, but I also physically read them too. But I was kind of pairing them back and forth. I usually do that, and I enjoy that immersive reading. My genre breakdown was 2 romances, 4 fantasies, and 4 general fiction. I don't know, I've just been really loving general fiction lately. 4 fantasies. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. You'll see. You'll see. We'll talk about it, and that's when you'll see. So let's get into the actual reviews of the books that I read. Everything is non-spoiler, but again, if you don't ever want to hear anything about a book, just skip. The first book that I read in July was Enchantress by Kaylee Smith. And this is the second book in, I don't remember what the series is called, but Phantasma is the first book. And I freaking love Phantasma. Like, I love the concept. I love the characters. I love the romance. I loved everything about it. It was so fun. So I've been very nervous and hesitant to pick up Enchantress since it's come out. And I hate myself for that because it was so freaking fun. It was so fun. I absolutely loved it. We're following Genevieve, which is the sister of the girl in Phantasma. And she ends up going to this cursed palace in Italy because she's just brought there. Then a marriage of convenience happens and they have to play these deadly games when they're locked in this cursed mansion. Yes, it's similar in concept to Phantasma, but a very unique spin on it. Very unique games, very unique aesthetic. I wouldn't say unique, but like different than Phantasma, but still core values of that, I guess. And I absolutely had a blast. I thought it was so fun. It is spicy. It is an adult romantasy. Loved it. I loved how unique the games were from Phantasma. Anytime I'm reading some sort of series, I get nervous it's just going to be copy paste. And sometimes I love that. Romantasy or fantasy in general, I like to see different things throughout. So I was really nervous that it was going to be a copy paste and not live up to what Phantasma was for me. I'm so glad I read it. I really like Genevieve. She is just so spicy. Takes control and speaks her mind, and I love her for that. I admire her for that, and I really loved the love interest of this book. If you're hesitating, don't hesitate no more. Go into it and have a great freaking time with it. I finally read Madeline Miller's Galatia. It is the tiniest little book. It's a little pocket-sized book, very thin. It's 56 pages. This book was so dang expensive when it first came out. For what? This was so tiny. Ridiculous. She cute though. This story is about a reimagining of this marble sculpture that is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful of a woman. And the sculptor who sculpted it, I don't know, somehow the sculpture, she comes to life, they get married and have a kid. The sculptor is a very jealous man and very controlling. He puts the sculpture into pretty much an asylum to be monitored by doctors and nurses. A very sad situation, and she wants to break free. I really liked it. It was really confusing at first because we just jump in without any context, and I didn't read the back of it, so because I'm like, it's a short story, I don't want to know I don't want to know anything regarding it going in because I don't want to be spoiled because it is so short. That's the bare bones of it. I really like Madeline Miller's writing. Has she come out with anything yet? I need to check on that. If anybody else knows, can you put it in the comments below because I probably forgot by the time this goes up. Remind me. Thank you. Give Me Butterflies by Jillian Meadows, and oh my gosh, it did what it said on the cover. I freaking loved this book. It was so cute. I started off with the audiobook just because I heard really good things about the audiobook. I got the recommendation from Carter Sullivan, reading this in one of her vlogs, and absolutely loved it. I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. I ended up getting the audiobook from Libby pretty quickly. I listened to it on my drive to work and was giggling, kicking my feet. Just lucky me when I went to see how much it was on Kindle at the Kindle store. They were having a stupid good sale on it. Our main characters are Millie and Finn, and it is a grumpy sunshine, slow burn workplace romance, women in STEM. It is a STEM romance, and it takes place at this museum. Millie is interviewing for a job promotion into the department head of entomology. Finn, who is in the astronomy section, I believe. He is one of the people on the interview board. They've had interactions in the past. She just thinks he's so grumpy and that he just hates her. He just can't figure out how to talk to her without making a complete ass of himself. There are kids in this book too, but I absolutely loved their dynamic. I usually don't trend towards kids in books, but this was done very well. How they were implemented into the storyline, but didn't overshadow it either. Also, it deals with different family dynamics on both of their parts too. Really cute, guys. It gave me butterflies. I was so giddy. I don't know if it was right book, right time, but I had such a blast with it. Done and dusted by Lila Sage, and I don't know why I thought this was on Kindle Unlimited. And I feel like I did this previously too. When I went to download it or read it, I bought it from the Kindle store and they were having another stupid good sale. I don't know what the sale was because it wasn't Prime Days when I bought these. Give Me Butterflies I think must have been $3 or $4, and Done and Dusted was $2 or $3. So our main characters are Emmy and Luke, and it is a small town cowboy romance and brother's best friend. If you were wanting a quick kind of flirty vibe of a cowboy romance, this would be the one. It wasn't my favorite, especially compared to the Chestnut Spring series. It wasn't enough for me. It felt like it was edited down way too much or not expanded upon enough. Like, it just felt short. It could have been longer. And I'm not saying that because I like long books. I like a good 300-page romance. There just wasn't enough for me to really connect with the characters because I was just like, okay, cool. I'm interested enough to continue on with the series, but I will be only checking them out from my library moving forward. Also, I keep forgetting this about myself, is I do not like past tense narration. I didn't think it really bothered me, but no, I really don't like it. And every time I read a book with past tense, I really just don't like it. It really takes me out of the story. Because when I am reading a book, I like to imagine myself as the main character, or, you know, just like picture it moving with the character and experience things along with the character. And when past tense is used, I'm like, oh, they've already done this, learned their lesson, blah, blah, blah. This is boring. I like to develop with the character and see what they're going through and work it out in my head. If you love it, awesome. And like I said, I'm going to continue on with the other books just through my library instead. Hera by Jennifer Saint. Obviously, the main character is Hera, and she is the main goddess of Greek mythology. Her and Zeus are the pair, you know, that are always referred to, but Zeus is such a dick. Oh my gosh, I hate him. This is very much a top-down approach to Greek mythology. There is a lot of myths that are discussed and interwoven into these stories, and if you're not really familiar with those myths, then this might not be the book for you. I like to do more of a bottom to top approach. Bottom up, bottoms up, let me see your cup. Liked this book for the other myths that were involved and just seeing how she played a part in that and what was going on, what she was doing during those times, because it is a long span of time. It starts when they gain power from the Titans, that transition to power, and giving all the gods a different role. It's a very toxic relationship, but if you are interested in Greek mythology, it is interesting. They're so unlikable. Most of the time, it's just her taking the wrong approach to Zeus. You know, she is the goddess of marriage and blessing marriages. I hate the way that she treated others, especially Hephaestus. Like, he is the sweetest kind of soul. I liked his storyline. I liked a lot of others' storylines within this one. Hades and Hephaestus are probably my favorite. They're just so cool. It was fine. If you like Greek mythology, I would recommend it. If you're not really partial to it, I would skip it, and definitely not as a starter Greek mythology book. Then continuing on with Greek mythology, we have Electra by Jennifer Saint. Our main characters, or our 3 POVs in this, are Electra, Clytemnestra, and Cassandra. Why is it called Electra? I don't know. Clytemnestra is Electra's mother, and Cassandra is on the other side of the Trojans. She is part of the Trojans. Clytemnestra and Electra are part of the Greeks, and it's taking place during the Trojan War and Helen of Troy. Cassandra is the sister to Paris. Cassandra is gifted the knowledge of prophecy by Apollo, but then he is a dick and curses her to where nobody will believe her prophecies. Ugh, I just hate men so much. And Clytemnestra is Agamemnon's wife, and that makes Electra Agamemnon's daughter, and he is also just the worst. I hate him so much. I read Clytemnestra by a different author. I mean, they cross paths pretty much, and I was not very interested in Clytemnestra's POV just because I've already had it, and they're such similar stories. There's little tweaks and differences. I hated Electra. Electra was such a petulant child, and all of this could have been avoided with a lot of communication from everybody. The Trojan War could have been evaded with communication, but men, am I right? But Electra was just very much, her father could do no wrong. I liked Cassandra's storyline the best. I wish we would have just gotten her POV. I don't know. I guess I don't really understand why it's called Electra, unless it's for the ending. Wouldn't really recommend, honestly. But maybe you'll like it. I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. I didn't care. The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. Look at that chunky baby. Why did I say like that? That was so weird. I did get the audiobook from my library for this one, so I primarily listened to the audiobook. That was during one of the weeks that I was just really busy, and also I just did not want to put this down, and I just did not have time to physically read it because, again, look how chunky she is. She is so good. She is such a great author, you guys. I don't know how she does it. About the Albright family, and primarily following the daughter, Lenny, but the mom, Cora, and Ernst Albright are there too. Ernst inherited some land from Alaska from somebody that he was really close to in the Vietnam War, and Ernst has had a hard time getting his feet back under him returning from the Vietnam War. A lot of PTSD, a lot of just like mental stuff is going on with him. They end up moving up there. So this is following Lenny. She's like 13 at the time, I think, when they move up there. They have to learn how to be homesteaders in Alaska and survive the winters, but it is also so freaking important to establish a community there. Like, everybody, they moved to this small town in Alaska, and it is a very strong, tight-knit community that even if you don't like somebody, tough shit, you gotta help each other out. There are so many freaking trigger warnings in this book. Please go in with caution. Lenny and Cora primarily, mostly Lenny, and how she is growing up in the family that she's in the state that she's in the community that she's in, and learning from other very strong females in this community too. And it's also a little love story too. Tragedies that invoke with that. Also, again, Alaska is a very harsh state to live in. Going through this, I was like, okay, I was doing just fine, and then you hit a certain spot and I just broke down sobbing. I really thought I was gonna make it out without crying. Boy, was I wrong. I love the span of the ages that we get and growing up with Lenny too. I recommend it if none of the trigger warnings are sensitive to you. The View from Lake Como by Adriana Trigiani. I didn't like it. The more I think about it, the more I dislike this book. Our main character is Jess, and she's in her early 30s. Just went through a divorce to a really nice guy. She's just feeling directionless, and she's very agreeable, always a yes girl, people pleaser, and feels like she hasn't really done anything for herself because she just really dislikes conflict. She feels like she's been put in the role as the family caretaker too, having trouble finding her footing in her own family. A lot of expectations were put upon her. All of this, very interesting. That's why I got the book. I thought it was going to be more of like an eat, pray, love situation, which I love eat, pray, love. And it doesn't have to be copy, paste, eat, pray, love, but like I thought we were getting that. And she really has always wanted to go to Italy and experience Italy. Her family came from a few generations back and just like connect to the roots. The descriptors about food and most of the landscape, very good, very beautiful. The dialogue between any character talking, I don't know what to say about it. It was bad to me. I did not think it flowed well. I thought it was very choppy. I didn't think it even connected. I just feel bad for not liking it. Not saying this is what happened and what this author did, okay? This is just what it felt like to me. It felt very robotically written, the dialogue did. In the sense of like, if somebody said, oh, it was edited or written by AI, I would believe it. And I hate saying that. And I know I do not want to make that accusation. I'm just saying it did not feel edited correctly. I did not connect to the dialogue. Also, there was an FBI plot that was taking place. That was so unnecessary. Also, the journal entries that were proposed in here, they were just flashbacks of her reminiscing on times. They weren't journal entries in the sense of like, I felt this or I recall this. It was strictly just a flashback, which could have been written in a completely different manner. I really do hope that this author continues to improve and work on their craft. I just don't think this is an author for me. Maybe you'll like this though. I don't want to dissuade anybody from doing it, but like, I don't think we spent enough time in exploring Italy either. She went over there and ended up working. Like, who goes to Italy to work? Take a week off and explore at least. I just thought we were gonna get a little bit more Italian adventures. Oh, I just hate feeling so negative about it. So I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry if you love that book, amazing. I'm so glad it worked for you. It just wasn't for me. But a book that did work for me very well was These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean. I had so much fun. It is a really great vacation read, whether you are on vacation or want to be on vacation and pretending to be on a beach or on an island somewhere. I had so much fun with it. Our main character, we're primarily following Alice. This is a lot of rich family drama, so think of her dad as like the Steve Jobs tech billionaire guy. Her family is rich, rich, rich. And she has been exiled by her father. She hasn't talked to her 3 other siblings, her mom, her dad, in 5 years, until she gets a phone call from her mom telling her her father has been in a hang gliding accident, I think. He didn't make it, and so she is going back to the island for, they call it a celebration. Her journey there, that's where it starts off, is her at the train and getting seated next to this really tall, hot guy. She calls him Long Legs, and their banter is so cute. So she ends up getting to the island eventually. Her father is also like a big control person. Like, he loves to be in control of people, and every summer he would give them the Storm Olympics, and they must complete these really random tasks. That's also why Alice broke away from her family too, is because she did not want to live under his thumb. So it brings a lot of light to that as well. In order for them to unlock their inheritance, they have to complete their last Storm Olympics. So each of them are given a task to complete, or a few tasks or something. This is not Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is not like a scavenger hunt type thing. These are just like kind of just regular tasks. There's no deadly things that inhabit. So the tasks, the Inheritance Games are not the focal point of it. So don't go into it thinking this is going to be like treasure hunty, that kind of stuff. It's not. We get to go through all the family drama, the secrets that the family has. But the best part about this is if you are a romance girly, I think you'll really like this, because the romance subplot, it's a big subplot of it. And I really liked the romantic element of this book without it being fully focused on the romance. There was enough in here. There was quite a bit of romance in here that I was like, oh yes, it just kept me fed, and I really loved all the tension and their role in the games as well. Also, the family is just super toxic. The last book that I read this month was The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Still don't know. Our main character is Phoebe. Check the trigger warnings on this, guys, or even just like read the flap. Phoebe is depressed, like very much so, and she wants to unalive herself, but she wants to kind of go out in one of her safe space, her favorite place that she's never been to. Oh, so funny. But this one also kind of takes place on a private island near Newport, Rhode Island. And this one is also in Newport, Rhode Island. That's my sign that I need to go to Newport, Rhode Island. Books this room, the presidential suite, at a very fancy inn in Newport, Rhode Island to unalive herself. However, when she gets there, everybody that is there, every guest that is there checking in for the wedding. The wedding that is taking place over 6 days. There's a bunch of events. Every person there is there for this wedding. She ends up meeting the bride, telling the bride what her plans are. And the bride was like, you are not ruining my wedding week. Unlikely friendships. Freedom of speaking your mind, finally, especially for pathological people pleasers. Being okay with not being okay. I really loved the unlikely friendships in this. And I really, really loved the life lessons that each of the women could give to one another, especially in their different age gaps. The connections that they made with one another through the wedding, and just like the female friendships that were made too. Phoebe was just going through a lot of different life events that were very major. It also discusses the pandemic. I just thought it was very beautiful, full of really great life advice and lessons learned, especially again with different stages of life. The writing of this, oh my gosh, you guys, the writing was absolutely gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. I will definitely be reading from this author in the future. Oh, I should have been stacking them right here this whole time. These are the books that I read, plus the invisible 2 digital ones that I ended up reading. For the most part, I had really great reads. I'm really happy that I got to so many that were on my physical TBR. I would love to know what your favorite read of the month was, or what you ended up reading in July. I love talking about books, if you can't tell. If you also like me to talk about books and want to stick around, feel free to subscribe to the channel, as well as like this video. I would really appreciate it. And with that being said, respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks, bye.